Don't spoiler it.
Alrighty. Ready to get this show on the road?
I'm not ready. I can't do it. Too excited.
So much to talk about.
Just always. We do this all the time. We're gonna have to start batching these and splitting them up. All right. Yes, I am.
Marhaba to all you mushy meat sacks marching through the meat grinders of the world. This is episode 40 of the Geekoid podcast.
Officially.
Officially.
Also, your best.
I had to look for new letters of the alphabet to start with. That was what was it? That was in Arabic. Marhaba is apparently hello or welcome. So to all of our Muslim friends out there who are definitely tuning in.
It was the rest of it that I was like, oh boy.
We have a loaded episode for everybody today. We took some time off. I was in Ohio selling guns this past weekend. The weekends before that, I don't know whatever happened. But no,
what was that
excited.
Nicolas Cage movie? Because right now, that is what I keep thinking of every time now.
Lord of War.
Yeah, Lord of War with a little bit of Tony Stark.
One of my coworkers is like, did you start this after the movie War Dogs?
Oh.
He's like, are you driving to the Triangle of Death this weekend? Like, well, I mean, if you consider Toledo and Detroit kind of the Triangle of Death, then yeah, that probably would be accurate.
You are the geekiest, nerdiest, techiest person. And then you're like, hey guys, I'm doing this. We're all like,
WTF?
No, I really like it. It's a lot of fun, guys.
Yeah. Anytime I tell someone, they're like, what? Like they just it just catches everybody off guard.
Dude, I love it. All right, well, keep doing it because the off guard part is really funny.
Yeah. So full docket today. Where do we want to start, man?
Should we just do Game Awards? Start with that and just because
did you watch it?
God, no. I was like,
okay, because I didn't either. So
the stream
I don't know if we can really
7 hours. I went, I know it's not 7 hours. You did not keep people like Kojima or whoever for that long. But I
haven't even watched the highlight reel. So you might have all I did was watch the Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic trailer.
So I watched some of the highlight, and really all I caught was Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, indie French developer we've talked about the past episodes. They best, like in your Oscars, they won many awards. Art, production, and best game was. So, hey, go check it out. It's funny.
Shout out to them. And I'm really excited to play that game eventually. Finally.
I think so. I think it's like if you took Final Fantasy and you took
Death Stranding.
It's funny. I was thinking Death Stranding, but I don't think Death Stranding, but maybe like a Bloodborne with a Final Fantasy is more what I was thinking. With maybe the Death Stranding comedy twist, because there are some comedic moments in a very weird Kojima dark sense. So I think folks, you'd be very surprised how many comedic moments happen in Expedition 33, where you're like, oh, it's so bleak and they're all gonna die. And then laugh. So yeah, that one. What I was more interested in was there were 2 Lara Croft announcements, a remaster that looks holy shit.
Lara Croft.
L-O-R-A.
No, L-A-R-A.
L-A-R-A?
Oh my God, bro, get your lore down.
Your mom. The remaster of the first of the trilogy of their remake or remaster. Holy God, it looked so beautiful. I am so excited. I never played the first one. It's almost like we get to experience these older games, but now in a new light, and they're still like, people are still excited about it, and I'm one of those people, so I'm really excited for it, and then there was a slight, teeny tiny teaser of, like, they have something in 2026 or 2027, and I think this will be of Gamer Awards, a lot of, like, late '26 into 2027, and one of those is also, Eric, your franchise that you love a lot, Star Wars: Fate of the Old Republic.
Yeah, but real quick, I have a little diatribe about Tomb Raider because I remember playing the very first Tomb Raider game,
I
and
do too.
I in all the 3D polygon pixelated majesty and going, "Wow, look at those bazingas on her, those pointy
Funny
triangles."
funny, I do appreciate their remasters, so they added in some of her old flips and twirls and even the way she swims and her outfit. I don't know if they changed her quote unquote "bazoongas," but they did even remaster it or whatever, remake it to have some of the old stuff now their old first game. It looks great. I'm of the 2 parts, Legacy of the Atlantis, I'm really excited for.
Yeah. So I don't know if you heard this, but Sophie Turner is set to play Lara in a new Tomb Raider movie.
Can you remind me slash the other people who probably are
Who?
along with me, who's Sophie Turner?
So she's best known for her role as Sansa Stark in Game of Thrones. So the redhead who spends most of the time in the keep at King's Landing. And she was married to a Jonas brother. Apparently, she just partied too hard and was too much for him. So they got
Shut
divorced.
up, really?
Yeah.
That's kinda awesome. I have a buddy who's
Uh,
still into Jonas Brothers a lot. They're
okay.
good,
Well,
I
that
guess,
was weird.
allegedly.
All right. So, but on to the Fate of the Old Republic. So this trailer, which is all we had, like a pre-rendered trailer,
It
just
was
had
really good, dude.
it was good. It didn't show off a whole
Like,
lot, but it definitely brought back the old KOTOR vibes, and those were some of the best games ever made. And I am super pumped for this game. Like, I haven't played the latest Star Wars, the Outlaws one yet. Mostly because I'm just like, do I want to play an outlaw
no,
creep around?
from
Like, I
what
want to play a KOTOR game. Let's be real.
so I would say, well, so I wanna play Outlaws just to play Outlaws,
Yeah,
only
yeah.
because on Switch 2, they did such a great job. Like, CD Projekt Red did a great job on Cyberpunk. The folks who did Outlaws, was that
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft did a really great job on porting Outlaws to Switch 2. I've heard it's not like anything like great, but also like, listen, folks, I play, Donkey Kong Bonanza in Mario. So like, I'm not looking for great. I'm just looking for fun. And this does look fun and also very pretty.
I mean,
However,
if it
I
follows the
think
formula of a lot of the other Ubisoft games, it'll be fun. It'll
it
hit
would
your
be,
dopamine
yeah.
drip the right way.
Yeah, and then you play the game and you're like, "That was a great time." And that's what I'm looking for, like a good movie, like a good, Christmas movie, like, Die Hard, like, I'm just looking for a dopamine hit. Mistletoe, Merry Christmas. I think for you, though, go look up, what was it, Jedi Survivor? I think
Yeah, I've
you
I've played both the games.
was there 2 survivors?
Yeah. Well, they're not both called Survivor, but they are. One is the sequel of the other one, and the second one I haven't beat yet because I hit a puzzle and then I got burnt out trying to solve it, and I said "f this" and just went and did something else. So I should pick that back up maybe during my Christmas break.
Probably, because also I need more information because because of this KOTOR like reveal, a lot of people started pulling up like Jedi Survivor, and I was like, "Oh, I forgot about this game," and it looks pretty great, but more they loved the story arc of this Jedi Survivor. And I was like, "Oh man, I."
Which the stories in Jedi Survivor have been pretty solid. I will give them that, and it's made for a good game in both counts.
And I think Outlaw took a lot of like good pieces. It feels like almost natural. Like you play Survivor, yeah, Survivor, and then you play Outlaw. It has a similar feel, so I think Ubisoft took from that. Um, this is a very weird meta. We're really like getting out in the weeds, but if you guys can feel it, and that's all I gotta say about it. I think I'm on the right track.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Real quick, other Star Wars news that's a little bit tangential to this. I think I saw that Mandalorian season 4 was canceled.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do the movie, and then I think hopefully they finish with the movie. If you're gonna do a theatrical, I kind of feel like that's what you were gunning for.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we know the theatrical has been in development and it's been filming, but
Well,
basically
do you
the
hear what I'm
streaming
saying,
model.
Eric? If you're gunning for a theatrical after 3 seasons, this is your big quote unquote opus. This is it, baby. Oh,
Yeah.
balloons.
Kind of balloons.
We're we're on iPhones and Apple devices. So like folks, I like did some and balloons. Celebrate.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't see a
it's just
season
a little
4.
disappointing because The Mandalorian has been one of the most successful shows, but I think that
Well,
$100 million budget for season 4 was just too big an ask, and the economics aren't panning out, and Disney is scrambling to figure out how to really make money in this new frontier
I
now
think
that.
too they missed the mark of not doing a solo season for Boba Fett and then adding a Mandalorian that basically was part of the Mandalorian series, and then adding Mandalorian, which then somehow added the Boba Fett. And I think a lot of people got a little confused instead of what I liked about it is that it blended the two together. They should have probably kept it separate. And you only have so much to talk about with the Mandalorian and with Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Though I do add to this as a Star Wars fan, like I kind of want we don't have that's George was very like um adamant about giving lore to whatever race, and Star Wars nerds please comment in, of like Yoda and Grogu's, and I can't remember the girl right now, but that race, he really left it open so that it was you could make believe, which is cool, but we're all nerds and we all like to get in the weeds. Dude, I don't play D&D and I still buy the monster manual just so I can like read up on all the monsters, like because the monsters are so cool. Even though I don't want to play D&D, it's like they're just great and people just make up this lore. So I would like to see more Mandalorian, but I think they've they've done their arc. It's time for something new. With
Yeah.
that said, I think they have something with Skeleton Crew and doing the Goonies style that goes back to that late 80s, that nostalgic feel, that
Mm.
Stranger Things. Like, I think Skeleton Crew could do something. Oh, you've got your what if and but. Oh, good. I'm so excited. We're
I mean, disclaimer: I never watched the Skeleton Crew, and I'm not a huge fan of the Goonies. So
holy shit. Well, that was the end of Geekoid podcast, and this is Jared and Eric, and signing out.
it's just not my jam. Like I want my sci-fi to be hard and gritty and dark and dystopian, and you can just leave all the kids locked up in their little baby prisons because I'm here for the adult content.
Dude, Lucas and Spielberg made probably the most foundational
I know,
storylines
and
for the rest of at least our generation. Super
I
8.
know, and super great movie. Uh, and
Spielberg,
here's the thing: I was
Goonies.
really hoping that Rebel Moon was going to be that new IP that I could like sink my teeth into. This really adult sci-fi mystical universe, and then Zack
I don't even
Snyder
know about
fucked it
Rebel
all up.
Moon, to be honest. I
What
have no
you've
idea.
watched it?
No, no. What is it?
No,
No, I
what?
don't. No. Give me the cliff notes.
It's
Go back to Purdue.
two-part movie that Zack Snyder did for Netflix like 2 years ago.
Oh, that was not good, bro.
No,
That
I know it wasn't good. Like I've
was it.
torn those 2
Ugh.
movies apart like on 6 different occasions on
I
this
had to wait
very
until Katie
podcast.
fell asleep. I had to watch it at 12 o'clock, half drunk, half asleep. I watched the first one till 2 a.m. She fell asleep again. I had to do the same thing over again because I was like, well, I'm already in the state. Let's go.
What happens?
Let's let's watch the weird robot that turns farmer slash yoga instructor. Let's do this again. I no, it was really bad. I love you, Zach, a lot. Dude, N no, not great. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rebel Moon
So
was not it, so let's not use that as an example.
no, definitely not. But yeah, so I still feel like there's an audience of at least one, being me, that wants to be fed some good hard sci-fi, and I'd say Apple is currently picking up the slack right now. I've heard really good things about Pluribus, and then you have
Very good. Yep.
Invasion, you have
We started watching
Foundation,
it,
like
and Katie was into it, and
which
Katie's
one?
not a
Pluribus?
sci-fi. No, well, I think she would be really into Pluribus actually because she loved Severance. So I don't know if I would be into Pluribus, but I am deeply into Invasion. I did not think she would be into Invasion.
Rachel's
She
into
has
Invasion too.
she hasn't asked for us to continue the episodes, but when we did, I think we watched 3, she was like, I was like, "You okay?" And she was like, "No, that was legit." And I was like, "Holy shit." 'Cause I do love sci-fi, just like you, bro. I love sci-fi.
I know.
She can dig a fantasy. She's into it. Like her family was into it hard. I think you and I are more the sci-fi realm. So it's a little different to have kind of the same idea, but a different setting and a little different concept. But yeah, the way that I think it was the pacing, the way they paced everything throughout each episode helps Katie stay engaged. And I think if she's the base audience, it's the same for everybody else that listens to this. Go watch season 1 and the first 3 episodes, you stay engaged the whole time. And there's not many seasons in general of any series where I can say it does keep you engaged right from the start.
Yeah, and then they also have that show about going to the moon, that alternate reality, land on the
That
moon,
gets
and then go to Mars and gets wild. I haven't seen that. I want to see that. And then the Godzilla show,
that one's
which they're
great.
also doing a
Dude,
prequel.
oh, are they doing a prequel to the first season? Oh, that's
Yes,
so
sir.
weird because the first season was kind of a
Two
prequel.
timelines.
It was Russell Crowe's son playing not Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe. That's cool. I love that. Michael Douglas. Michael Douglas's son playing Russell Crowe. It's really cool. Kind of hope Russell Crowe now shows up in some weird 2000s way, 1990 to 2000 way. Anyway, love you, Russell
No,
Crowe.
now I want to see Charlie Sheen play like an early version of Michael Douglas's character from The West Wing.
Dude, I'm kind of like, actually, after he did that whole documentary that got published, I think he's going to start getting some biz again. And I think
I
we'll
mean,
start,
I don't think
I
he's
think
up for it. He's got enough money.
I think we'll see him come up once in a while and he'll be like a Nicolas Cage. Where we're like, holy shit, is that Charlie Sheen?
TBD. TBD. But you're thinking of Kurt Russell.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. That was his dad. Yeah. Kurt Russell. There's so many. Listen, it's like the Sheens and
A
then
lot of Russells.
Emilio. Yeah. I don't know. Wow. That's
All
cool,
right, let's get
dude.
this back on track.
All right. Yeah. 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 Prequel on prequel. Sorry. Game Awards. I
Let's bring this home.
think that was it. Oh, yeah. No,
All
they
right.
showed Street Fighter. That's it. Yeah. And so that
Yeah,
transitions
the crew
into the
came
movie
out.
stuff.
Yeah. Supergirl trailer for that came out.
Hey,
Um,
hey, don't skip on Street Fighters. No, 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 no. I'm really excited for
there's no
this.
news there. The Street Fighter crew came out on stage, and that was it.
Hey, there was a, I don't know, 30, 40-second minute trailer, second trailer. Uh, it was
That
great.
I didn't
I,
watch, so you can tell the audience what you saw.
oh, well, it was like 30 seconds. And it was really Chun Li just kicking the shit out of everybody. So I don't know. Chun Li's the main person. Man, she kicked the shit out of
Thunder
everybody.
thighs.
It wasn't, she just did this spin kick over and over again instead of her like classic like twirl. But you know what? It was cool. And I loved seeing all the actors. The only person I was really upset about was didn't see 50 Cent. He couldn't make it because I guess he had a concert that he had to go to. Hey, it's Game Awards. Show up,
Or
bro.
he was promoting his movie about Diddy,
Well, moving
which
on.
has kind of blown up a little bit. I haven't seen it yet, but I am very curious.
Is it the reality or the facsimile?
But yeah, this it's a documentary about, because I mean Diddy's in jail at the moment,
Yeah.
and 50 Cent basically goes behind the scenes and exposes a lot of the dirty shit he was doing. And
Oh,
I saw a meme online that said, "All I want for Christmas is for 50 Cent to make a documentary about all my worst enemies."
dude, it would be him and Vanilla Ice and a few other people because the 90s and the 2000s fucked some people.
I mean,
Wow.
this is not the hero arc I expected for 50 Cent, but we'll see where it goes.
I mean, if he's telling the truth, he's telling the truth. I give him the hero mark for that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't ever see him as rising as the hero. We'll see where it goes. Related to movies, I mentioned the Supergirl trailer came out. That I thought it was fun,
Man,
entertaining. It felt like classic Guardians of the Galaxy. Clearly, James Gunn is taking the DC universe in a very different direction than his predecessors. Just like the entire movie seems to be off planet, which is a very high departure from Zack Snyder and all the other DCU movies. Um,
it's very James Gunn.
what's your take? Yeah,
It's very James Gunn. It's very much like it's a totally different director. And I did not write who the director is. I should have, and I'm sorry, folks. So please Google it. But you can totally tell if you watch this trailer. James Gunn absolutely has his heartstrings and his fingers in it. It's Guardians of the Galaxy 1 in a DC universe with Supergirl, this young girl who is navigating her own stuff that she remembers that Clark does not. I'm super fascinated. I am so into this. It gives another, I mean, if you look back into the Guardians of the Galaxy and how James Gunn like crafted his three movies for that set of people and that storyline, and then you put it into some Kryptonian ultra, in my opinion, ultra superhuman thing. This is I'm gonna be so blown away. I'm so excited for this to come out.
it
And
looks fun, like a
I
lot
was
of fun, which I think
and
is what they're
uh,
trying to do with the new DCU.
yeah, well, I think it's very again James Gunn. I think he's very much like a post-punk like kind of director in how he looks. Like a lot of his game or not his games, but a lot of his original movies, if everybody looks up his discography, they're all like very indie horror with like some weird comedic twist. Not a lot, but then he flows a lot of this together. I It's kind of weird for me to compare him to Tim Burton. However, I am in the regard that he likes to take very gritty situations and he likes to put a comedic twist to them. However, James Gunn does put a he's really into comic books. So then he puts that comic book color and flair into them that people do like, me especially included.
So I think the point that you're driving home is that Tim Burton has a very noticeable style, whether it be a claymation movie or a live action movie that he's doing. There are certain elements across all of them that you will see, and it's noticeably a Tim Burton film. Same thing with James Gunn. And even if he's not directing the movie, he's still involved in a producer, executive producer role, and he's still pulling some strings. I'm excited to see how that evolves as the DC expanded universe expands. Because we've heard a lot of talk about Clayface and how they want to really go for a gritty, dark a movie
Well,
that it
well,
sounds like a very strong departure from what we've seen in the latest Superman movie and the Supergirl trailer. So, can he pull it off in having part of the DC expanded universe be something completely different that doesn't feel like it has his thumbprints and fingerprints all over it? Is that
that's
do you think it's possible?
well, I do think it's possible because so if he goes a horror route or thriller route, which was his roots, I do think he could. Now, other very strong rumors point to him doing a Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing is, especially after
Oh,
Alan
yes.
Moore um, produced a lot of great content. It got spiritual, it got spooky, it got, well, Alan Moore is like probably the godfather of like really deep, like, this isn't like kids' comic books in a time period that was kids' comic books. He really wanted to push the envelope of political and other things. And he did Swamp Thing that revolutionized and evolved, I think, Swamp Thing to a level that now I don't know in current and recent publications has ever been really done before. Nobody can really touch it because he put Swamp Thing into such a man, this is hard to explain, but such a gritty, horrific uh swamp I keep going back to Stranger Things, but like there is a such a like you could be Kitty as a comic book and yet be so horrific like Stranger Things is doing. Goonies with
Yeah, but at the time, it kinda took itself out of the mainstream as a result. And I think a lot of people don't understand or know the Swamp Thing IP.
no, no, and it's not, well, and that's what I was trying to say is like it's not something that's been, I'll be honest, like once Alan Moore kind of touched Swamp Thing, it was kind of hard to replicate what he did. And so then other writers haven't, unless you go into pulp fiction, pulp like 50s, whatever era, Arkham Asylum kind of shit. Um, James Gunn wants to do that. So,
Yeah.
full circle, I think we're going to be okay because James Gunn came originally from that weird pulpy horror and a very indie horror with still like a lot of throwbacks to Spielberg and Lucas of like Stranger Things and kids and all that. And he is very much into the comics, which again, kids and all that.
He is a man of the craft,
I
so
think
I
he's
think
the
the
man, the
property is in
craft.
very good hands.
I think it's very, very much in good hands. And it's going to
Yeah,
go
I'm
a
excited to see
different.
where he takes it.
Yeah, I do too. I think that's not something that Feige is into. That's not something that Favreau is into. I think they're more along the Lucas side and Lucas's protege. Oh God, what's that kid's name? He's not a kid. He's older than me. Um, but the guy that basically took over Lucas at Lucasfilm, Dave, the guy with the cowboy hat.
Filoni?
Yeah, yeah, Dave Filoni. So I think they're more along on that line, and I think Gunn is more along like take this is crazy, like a Carpenter with a Goonies, so a very small like Spielberg, The Thing, Spielberg, Goonies with like shit. Where was I going? With this like comic book bright feel. He's gonna do dark. Well, he's gonna do Guardians. Like, damn it. I'll tell you next episode.
Entertaining but meaningful.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Oh, Jesus Christ. Guardians 3 was a tearjerker. Yeah, I think that's he's garnering for that. And I think even with his new directors, he still is going to go for that because audience and views and a story, a really true, meaningful story. Next on our docket,
Is.
Doomsday.
Yeah, it's not on the docket that I'm
It
looking
is,
at.
and it is in the text.
Oh, yeah, okay, fair. Yeah, so some new news about the upcoming Avengers Doomsday movie has come out that there's gonna be, I think, Avengers teams, which kinda tracks with what we've seen in the movies leading up to it. Apparently a Doctor Doom team that may or may not include a Chris Evans as an evil Captain America.
Or a positive, or like, who knows? Like, but here's the one thing, and I love the Hollywood people that we've been following. If Griff, if Chris Evans has shown up on any set, we're gonna hear about it because people are going to do everything they can. We have not heard anything. However, Marvel slash Disney is very good at hiding crazy stuff. So they could do things offset, they could do things in the volume or whatever that room is, or green screen. However, what we have heard is that yes, there is the Final Fantasy team, there will be a Thunderbolts team, there will be, and this is what intrigues me, there is a Wakanda team, and that Wakanda team, is without your main Black Panther. You do have, I don't remember his name. He was a great actor and I love him to death. He was in a movie with Mark Wahlberg. He is the king of Wakanda along with Siri and everybody else. You do have a team of old Avengers, but I don't know who they are. Maybe we need to go back to that
Thor, Captain
initial
Marvel,
that
Spider-Man,
Well, there was
Ant-Man.
that initial list of all the chairs, and so maybe we need to go back to the chairs. But they're also adding, I think, like Thor's kid.
Oh
There
god.
are other components to it since then of people. So like, yeah, it is kind of interesting to figure out like who are these teams and how are they gonna do basically like another Infinity War and Endgame where you see probably four different segments going on. My big thing is I remember part of both comics. There was the old one and then they kind of redid it. Who Doctor Doom's team is going to be, speculation or fan theory is Reed Richards and Sue's kid could be a part of that team. If anybody looks up that kid's other than like Doc X and a few other people, that kid's one of the most powerful beings, period.
Oh yeah,
Can
I mean
recreate.
they alluded to that when they were in the midst of ending the movie or even halfway through it. I mean, it was definitely a teaser, and the post credit scene definitely kind of lent itself to that. So
Yeah, there he is. Spoiler alert. Doom is there. There is another, theory or speculation that Sentinel, who showed up in Thunderbolts, but like I don't know if he got like the true. So Sentinel in the comic books is Superman.
The equivalent.
Oh, it's pretty much Superman in the Marvel universe. So let's
Well,
get to
Zach.
So
Well, we could spend a whole episode like dissecting that, but we're not going to do it.
so there is like, well, if you have the most powerful being ever, where does that now that you've, introduced him and Thunderbolts is here and it's, did pretty well overall. Where does he fit? Does he go to Boom? I love that. Hearthstone. Dr. Doom's side.
TBD.
So TBD. But I just thought that was super just fun, honestly. Like we have a team. What's gonna happen? I love Infinity War and I love Endgame. I think those are the two, like, well, they spent 10 years, like, whatever. So
Yeah. I mean, the
this
Russo
is-
brothers are basically doing a repeat act where you have multiple
they are.
teams, including a bad guy team, and they're gearing up for an epic saga. And
Yeah.
that's what we're going to get. And I'm super pumped. Do we have a release date?
Well, so I'll say no, but to add to what you just said, a lot of Hollywood is saying like after Evans and shit, Doctor Doom, Iron Man.
Robert Downey Jr.?
Thank you. Both of them fade away. You see a drop. Does that equate to new directors, screenwriters, producers, or is it because of the audience loving those two characters?
I mean, the characters are iconic, but I also think there's a bit of superhero exhaustion. Like Marvel was pumping out so many movies, so many shows that
Well, that's why maybe
I got
Hollywood's
tired.
looking
Like
at
I can't
like,
go to the theater that many times a month to
but
keep
their
up with it.
highest sells were with
Yeah.
Junior being in and Evans being in. And then all of a sudden there's a tick. There's a huge spike.
Yeah,
And
they're
so
trying to
bringing in,
recapture that lightning in a bottle is what they're doing.
but also I do like what a lot of Hollywood's saying is like maybe you faded it and you didn't do it right. Is this your cash? So like, okay, let's do our financial in script writing reset of like, okay, we can fade these out and do something. I agree. It may be far fetched. However, I don't think it's, at least financially, I don't think it's horrible. You're gonna see a spike if you can then, this is the true, land it to then move on. You're
When
not
they
gonna
did
get
the
the sales.
RDJ announcement at Comic-Con, the episode we did right after, I said, this is absolutely a money grab by Disney.
Yeah. Yep.
And I still think it is. And I think it's also a smart move. I mean, this is going to get audiences reinvested for the next probably
Dude,
couple of years because there's going to be
this
a
this
dozen
newest
storylines
rumor
that
with
spin out of this.
Evans being in it is even more crazy because Chris said, I'm out. That's it. Nope. And then we haven't seen Chris also, by the way. So also like side note, I don't know what indie projects you've been doing, but if Marvel like,
We've seen him in a few things. He was in
I
a
mean, Knives Out.
rom-com and
Knives Out was
oh,
great.
yeah, that was a few years ago.
So yeah, well, that was one of the last ones I remember.
All right, well, we're not going
other
to
than
look up the filmography just yet.
no,
We
no.
got tons to get through still.
Yeah, I already told the Chris Evans thing.
But
Strange Things.
Can I do the tangent? Just
Yeah,
let's say this-
you do it.
we talked about Stranger Things last time. Let's save it until after
Oh.
Christmas when the next series drops or next few episodes drop. Let's
Hey,
talk
I'm just gonna
about
say it's killing it. That's it. That's all I want to say.
yeah, okay, it's killing it. But let's talk about Netflix. Because the last show we did, we said they bid, they didn't win, they're out for Warner's Brothers, and then last week in the final round of bidding, they put in the highest bid and they won. Netflix is
82
acquiring Warner Brothers,
$82.7 billion.
but also Paramount is like, well, that wasn't our best bid. Here's our best bid, and they're trying to do a hostile takeover of Warner Brothers now.
Which is creepy, dude. There's a lot of other shit.
There's
So
so much stuff happening in the background. It's really wild.
Trump might be involved. The administration might be involved if Paramount is involved because of daddy called somebody. Really, but I think also Paramount put down 108 billion.
Yeah. So here's the difference between the two deals is Netflix they're basically bidding on the stuff that like the very properties that they're interested in, the crown jewels. They want Warner Brothers Studios, they want HBO, they want everything that relates to their business. They have no interest
Yep.
in Discovery and CNN and all those other cable parts of the business. Whereas Paramount is like, we're going to take it all. So it's difficult to equate the two
Well, and
businesses and
they
the way they're
did. They threw
valuing them.
out like, well, well, we'll give you a certain amount of money to certain investors, and then we will do certain cinematic. That's cool. I love that.
That's a
Can we have
fun
that as a
new
new word?
word.
6, 7, baby. Pop, 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 pop. We'll have new theatric, releases. It'll be fine. And Paramount was like, no, we won't change a thing other than we will absolutely give you a share of this because we just need it or we want it. Maybe it's not a need it, it's a want it. I liked Netflix's approach that it's like, I think it was more cut and dry. Like, this is what people probably want. This is absolutely what will make us money. We're not in the news feed. We're not in these other, medias. So this is it.
Yeah. So
Um,
so I'll say right now, Sarandos was very articulate in their reason for buying Warner Brothers. They haven't been in the studio business. They haven't been in the major picture release business. And he said that they want to be. Like this would be super complimentary. Like, and people are worried that, oh, they're going to acquire Warner Brothers, they're going to shut down all these potential ways that people watch movies now, blah 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 blah. And it's like, I one of the podcasts you sent me, they had a really interesting stat. It's like if they wanted to shut down the movie business industry, they could just literally go out and acquire every movie studio for 1/10 the cost, or every theater
yeah,
for 1/10 the
yeah,
cost,
yeah.
and just have them play reruns of Ferris Bueller's Day Off until the cows come home, and they could shutter all those businesses. But like that doesn't make any sense. Like they're buying Warner Brothers Studios, HBO et al. For the IP, for the expertise that they have at these studios on how to create blockbuster films. Because to date, Netflix has really been sort of a two-pronged approach to content. Spray and pray. So we're just going to produce everything under the sun and throw a lot of money at really big people and hope that they produce some freaking amazing hits, which has been successful in some cases and not so successful in other cases. Even the duds, though, people still watch. So I would say they've been very good at their
That's
data-driven approach,
right, right.
but when it comes to theatrical releases, they have nowhere near the expertise. And yeah, they've released some movies in theaters like K-pop Demon Hunters, the sing-along version, whatever, which sold out in God knows how many theaters. But that's a fluke compared to their normal business model.
Well, and you think about, and I thought I'd sent it to you in somewhere in a text. I'm trying to scroll through it, but you have 3 to 4 groups of, probably at this point in 2025, the greatest minds, creative, financially minds in Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers hasn't been really using it, but you look at Paramount, you look at Sony, you look at the other, and across Hollywood, these are the kind of right now the greatest people. What's crazy is Warner Brothers been around so long, and so you still have kind of like the George Lucas. You have like this old breed of cinematographers, movie operations people
There's a
at Warner
lot of
Brothers.
know-how into how movies are made in Hollywood that Netflix
Yeah,
just kind of doesn't have.
you know, like for anybody else, Jaws was probably an old movie. A couple of the people that they potentially have are, are before Jaws. Like these are people who have watched. It's kind of like, who's the girl in not girl, F, absolutely could be a lady, but who's the lady in Star Wars? Catherine. She's been there forever with
Oh,
Lucasfilm.
we're gonna have to cut this part out because we're, showing our ignorance.
Are we? But, Google it. But you have if you if you get what I'm saying, you have people that are even older than her who have been in it. And these cats have watched the evolution. They kept up with the creativity, the Lucases and the Spielbergs and the John Williams and Abrams. And Netflix now has this beautiful golden goose, literally a golden goose. And a lot of people are nervous that you're going to turn in algorithms, you're going to turn it into like whatever sells, like people who do this during a particular part or an episode, that's what sells. And they don't
Yeah.
know this other side. And they have James Gunn, and they've got, I can't remember the other four. I swear, I put the text in because I really want to name these people out. But there are at least four other people that are going to be a part of this team. And folks, and God, I'm crossing my fingers so hard if Netflix pulls this off, that you have this actual collaboration of what Netflix has done over the years that Ian and Eric remember when they were only they would mail it to you as a DVD. And then you could go to like some rando fucking McDonald's and then go get a DVD to then streaming. And then now the powerhouse that they are. And then you bought maybe one of the oldest studios in America in general with the most oldest, most like other than Star Wars, like because of specific, like they have the golden goose. They have the egg if they do it. And
Yeah.
that's the
So
part
if
that
they pull this
Hollywood
off,
is nervous about. However,
I mean,
none of those people over we've already talked. It's from this episode, maybe we're talking 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. None of those people have said resignations. They're not leaving.
well, this whole deal is gonna take a year to close. So, and a lot can happen between now and then.
But
Who knows how this
if you're
hostile takeover
Eric,
bid's
if
gonna
you're a
happen.
creator and you're like, I don't know about this, bro. And they go, no, no, it'll be totally fine. Would you still be like secret interviews elsewhere? And
I wouldn't be surprised if a significant number of people jumped ship. I think the war for creative talent is gonna get interesting because
well, okay, I'll
like
add to that because as you said that, AI, and
that's a big wild card in all of this.
we have really old school people who have just the most creative chops that we've seen in a very long time. And they've shown their chops to be, like old school Michelangelos. Like, I'm sorry, like, we don't have cinematography in that time period, but like, these people are, in my opinion, in that same regard, in a new era of that
The
time
James
period.
Camerons, the Ridley Scotts, the Steven Spielbergs, who have
John,
mastered their craft
yeah,
over decades.
John Favreau, George Lucas. Yeah. Yeah. We're hoping to be those people. Like, I'm not giving them a
And
lie.
here's the
Like,
thing that I've noticed with a lot of AI content recently is that you can't replace taste. And
I hope,
like
I hope so. I'm really nervous, bro.
So, like, I mean, like, anybody can generate a 15-20 second clip of some hot anime character just whipping some baddies. But if you wanna make a 2-hour masterpiece, good luck using AI tools exclusively. Like, it's gonna take a lot. Like, here's the thing, I think AI will be an incredible aid to creators, it'll be a
Yeah,
fantastic
yeah,
element of their toolkit in the same way that 3D rendering and 3D modeling has been, and
yeah.
all these industries that have popped up around filmmaking, like, but it's not gonna replace the creative vision, and I know people are going to try their hardest, but I think there's another element, and I don't wanna get into that now because I kinda wanna leave it as a teaser for our next episode, and that's gonna be how can creators and the studios that back them leverage the IP to create new experiences that the consumers can have a hand in crafting. I think that's really where the big financial unlock is going to happen. And I don't think it's going to be in replacing original IP.
I love it. I really love it.
So, with
I'm really
that,
excited.
I can tell you right now, our next episode is going to be one hell of a banger. Because, Jared, I don't know if you know
Is
this,
that
but come next week.
Disney? Disney? Are you teasing
Oh,
Disney?
and Jared's gone. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Next week, it's going to be our 1 year anniversary for the Geekoid podcast. We've been doing this for one whole freaking year, and we're going to have a lot to talk about. We have the OpenAI ChatGPT 5.2. Sam Altman says they're getting into erotica. RAM prices are going through the roof. 2026 MacBooks apparently are going to be off the chain. And you know what? We have just a lot of lots to be thankful for going into the holidays. So tune in for our next episode. It's going to be on fire. So signing off for Jared and myself, Eric, we love you. And subscribe, like, do all the social things. And there might be a newsletter come Friday. Stay tuned and stay classy.
End of transmission.